Good morning, Kristen. All right, Kelly. I'm not sure if you're on yet. Oh, good. Okay, thanks, Kelly. It'll just be you and I again this morning. Kristen is not feeling very well this morning. She said she hopes to get feeling better and do this on replay. So I love you, Kristen. Hope you're feeling better. I'm just going to do a regular intro to Ashtanga practice, to primary series, and I really kind of like cutting off for closing. We'll cut off after doing the back bend prep. I told you about that yesterday, Kelly. So after that, then let's close off and do the kind of ending that makes sense for us. Or I will go with my intuition as we go along. That may or may not be what we do. So yeah, I'm gonna do a few warm-ups, some of the cat and cows, the back and forth, and then go to the top of the mat. And I'm also doing this especially as focusing on Kristen, knowing that she will enjoy this replay. This is the day of the week that she has been dedicated, and I try to teach at that level. So, and then afterwards, Kelly, if you need anything, just let me know. But thanks for being here and practicing with me this morning. So off to our mat. Moving my reminder sign, my energy, remembering what my purpose is. I'm gonna get my blocks, a towel. I'm just gonna start in child's pose for a minute. My low back feels like it could use a little bit of release. Sometimes if I start right off into my sun salutes and I'm feeling tight, the tightening just gets worse instead of releasing. So that's why I'm just trying to stretch it out. I can feel a little something in my knee. So I will know to be mindful of that. Start some of the good breathing. I'm actually coming up into headstand prep. My head is not on the ground. I'm pushing away with my elbows and my forearms, and I'm pushing my, like into a baby cat back, letting the head release. but pushing the arms down. And bring my elbows a little closer together and do it again. Now I'm tucking my toes and coming back in a modified child's pose, so continuing to work my shoulders, but then a little stretch to the back. So in this, just like we talk about in downward facing dog, I'm bringing my elbows energetically towards each other, which makes the shoulders energetically away from the ears, and then pushing on the elbow and the forearm. And back up into the cat back. Toenails down. Really making a big cat in this position, but still working my arms. And back into child's pose. This is almost like a cow position, but not very emphasized. I can feel my ribs on my thighs. Continuing to release my neck. Trying to get that rotation in the arms with the elbows and the shoulders. Now I'm looking to the thumbs. I'm going to go into cat and cow position, just all fours. Taking my right foot back, keeping my left knee down, still cat and cow, but extending my right leg back. One more round, and then I'm going to switch my legs. Bringing my right knee down, my left foot back. Noticing my hips. I noticed that I wanted to kind of open up to my left side with my leg up this way, and I'm trying to square it back while I do the cat and cow. Now bringing my feet into downward facing dog. Pedaling out the heels, thinking again about my elbows and my shoulders, my starfish hands, base of the thumb, base of the first finger. Now I'm bending my knees a lot, almost like I'm going to jump forward and then putting my heels back down, straightening my legs, just a few of those. Tiptoeing to my hands, bending my knees a lot, modified child's pose from standing. Hands are still on the ground, still thinking about the shoulders, the elbows, the wide hands, the thumb, the first finger. Inhaling straight, looking up. Exhaling, bending the knees again. So it's kind of like a cat again. And straightening the legs, bending the legs, rolling the shoulders, and straightening. And I'm ready to stand up. So those warm-ups are not part of the Ashtanga series. They're just organic, thinking about what my body needs. What I did may not be what you really need today. So just do what feels right. I'm rolling my shoulders a little bit here again and moving my neck, loosening that up. So when we begin our sun salutes, that's the beginning of our Ashtanga practice. There are many kinds of yoga, and you can learn from all of those different kinds of yoga. So some people like a different kind of yoga, Iyengar. I think Kristen had a friend that talked about wall yoga, which if it's what I think it is, it's Iyengar yoga. And he, Mr. Iyengar, was a co-student with Pattabhi Jois with the same teacher. So that would probably be a good practice to check out different kinds of practices. This Ashtanga series is a great foundation for any other kind of yoga that you will ever do. And you will, as you go into any other class, it will feel familiar because you have this foundation. So really bringing your attention to the feet on the ground, noticing the energy coming up your legs, into the abdomen. Notice where the hips are in relationship. Bringing the sternum high, the energy up, hands together in Anjali Mudra. Let's do our invocation this morning. Inhaling and exhaling for just a few breaths. Bringing your attention to the center of your being, feeling grounded and tuning into who you are on an eternal level, leaving aside the things of this world for a few moments as we do this practice this morning. Noticing the breath again. We'll exhale all of the air, then inhale for Om in the invocation. Exhale, inhale. Vande Gurunam Charanaravinda Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jankalikai Mane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantye Habahu Purushakram Shankachakrasi Darinam Sahasra Shirsam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Hands to thighs. Yekam, inhale. Dwe, exhale. Forward fold. Trini, inhale. Shoulders back. Chaturya, exhale. High plank to low plank. Inhale, Pancha. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, shut. 5 breaths. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Sapta, come forward. Ashtau, head down. Now inhale, coming up. Look to the thumbs. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale, look up. Keep your gaze up as you step back. High plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drishti is the navel. You might not actually be able to see the navel, but focus on that part of your body as you breathe. Last breath. Coming forward. Exhale the head down. Inhale, stand. Exhale, Samastitihi. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. In. X. 4. In. X. 5. Come forward. In. X. In. Standing. X. Again, inhale. Five breaths. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale forward. X. Inhale up. Exhale. Last Surya Namaskar A. Inhale. Continue to breathe 5 breaths. Try to find sukha, the sweetness, that space between effort and ease. Letting the mind relax into the pose. It's good enough wherever you are today. One last breath. Inhale forward. Coming up. Samastitihi. Surya Namaskar beat. Bend the knees. Exhale. Inhale, look up. Keep the gaze up as you step back. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Step forward with the right. Step back. Look forward. Step forward with the left. Inhale up. And down. Keep the gaze forward. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Going through your checklist. % make it happen, 50% let it happen. Next inhale, come forward. Bend the knees. Samastitihi. Number 2, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale, step forward. Inhale. Exhale, gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale, step forward again. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale. 5 breaths. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Come forward. Bend the knees. Again, bend the knees, come up. Gaze forward. Side 1, step forward. Side 2, step forward. Gaze forward. If you're breathing hard or you just want to work on your shoulders, come down into child's pose. Turn your palms towards the ceiling. Continue to open the shoulders. Lift at the navel a little bit, like you're trying not to smash a tomato or a grape. On your next inhale, go back to downward facing dog if you were in child's pose. And then inhale, come forward. Exhale, head down. Inhale, bend the knees, come up. Exhale, Samastitihi. We're going to do one more. Make it as easy as you can. Whatever it takes to make it easy this time. Do that thing. Five. Inhale, knees bent. Exhale, Samastitihi. So we're going to skip the last Surya Namaskar beat and go into Padangustasana. Inhale up out of the pelvis before you come forward and take your toes. Inhale, really straighten the spine. Exhale, head forward. Weight goes towards the ball of the foot. Push your feet into the ground. Pull your shoulders towards the spine, meaning the shoulder blades. Round 5, inhale, look up. Change your hand position. Inhale, straighten the spine. Lift a little at the waist and exhale down. So the lift at the waist while the feet are solidly grounded. Notice how that feels in the legs. Breathing. Shoulder blades coming together. Last breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale the hands to the waist. And then inhale, stand. Samastitihi. Stepping out to the right for Utthita Trikonasana. Extended triangle. Push into the feet. Last breath. Really push into the feet as you come up on the inhale. Rotate the feet. Exhale down again. Again, the pushing into the feet brings an energy up the legs, and then it kind of raises your body away from the floor, giving room for extension of the spine. Last breath. Inhale, push into your feet as you come up. And the reverse triangle, Parita Trikonasana. Once again, pushing into the feet, extending the spine. Last breath. Inhale up. Pivot on the feet. Exhale back down. Down 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Stepping out wider, extended side angle, Purvottanasana, or Konasana, Purvo-Konasana. There's an angle here, side angle. Reminder to push into the feet. There's still a lifting of the ribs away from the pelvis. Inhale, come up. Rotate to the second side. I like this modified position with my forearm on the leg because it helps me lift the ribs away from the iliac crest and extend the spine. And push into the feet. Inhale, come up, do the reverse. I'm going to work on my twist today. Just coming up out of the pelvis and twisting towards the right, making sure my hip on the right goes forward while my ribs go back. Lifting tall, exhale, a little more twist. Lifting, inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale, and exhale. Coming up. Exhaling on the second side. Inhale tall and exhale more twist. Samasthiti. Purvottanasana. This is not Purvo. This is Parshvottanasana. Bringing the hands behind you. A smaller step, scissors, but bringing both feet firmly on the ground and finding that spot of balance between the feet, extending the spine and then coming forward, navel over the front knee. Shoulder blades work towards the spine. Last breath. Inhale, come up and pivot. Exhale, back down. Five, inhale up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let's take Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. I'm coming to the wall. You may not need to. Taking the picture down again. So I'm using the wall for support so I know what straight feels like in the spine, and just lifting my right knee up. I'm going to try to just keep my knee close to my chest today. If you want to go through more of the steps, more of the balance, you're welcome to do that. This prep is for both this pose and the next pose, Ardha Baddha. So you could just hold this for an extra count or two and make this be those two poses together on a day that you don't have a lot of energy, but you want to do a little bit of a practice. So I'm really feeling this in my standing leg, pushing into the big toe mound, feeling on the outside of my foot as well, on the pinky side. Last breath. And exhale, bring that right foot down, switching, bringing up my left foot, bringing the knee into my chest, and really focusing on the standing leg, strengthening that leg, big toe mound, outside edge of the foot, heel, just really maybe coming away a little bit from the wall to catch my balance, but bringing my knee up into my chest, stretching there. And 5 or 6 or 7, however many breaths that were, gently bringing that down. I'm going to go into Utkatasana next. So we're modifying the standing sequence. That was 2 poses at once. Inhale, bringing the hands up. Exhale, hands forward, head down. Inhale, looking up, shoulders back. High plank to low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Now, if you don't normally jump, try to jump. Get your hands on the ground, lift the heels, and jump towards your hands. Immediately come up into Utkatasana. I'd like you guys to do that for Utkatasana. Try to get the jump if you haven't done any jumps before. That's a good place to practice. Could even go back and just practice that jump a few times. Jerky is the thumbs. Breathing. Last breath. Inhale, just straighten the knees. Bring the hands down to the ground, head down. Inhale, look up. Stepping back or floating back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step forward with the right in a lunge. Here we are in Virabhadrasana A, or Warrior A, or 1. You hear both A and 1. Only bringing the hands up to the level that it won't start to really contract your traps and try to bring the elbows close together. Notice how that engages the side bodies and the pecs. Looking at the hands, straighten the leg, pivot on your feet into the second side. Your hip bones are pointing towards the back of the mat, lifting up out of the pelvis. Now, just second warrior, making the hips pointing towards the long side of the mat, bringing the bent knee towards the pinky side of the foot, releasing the traps, but extending the arms out. Jershki is over the middle left finger. And inhale, straighten the leg, pivot, and lunge on your second side, your right side. Really try to release the traps despite extending your arms out. Knee headed towards the pinky side of the foot, lifting up out of the pelvis. And 5, bring the hands, frame the foot in front, and chaturanga. Ready for Dandasana? Feel energy shooting out the heels and out the big toe mound. As you sit tall, the backs of the knees towards the ground. So there's some energy there, feeling it up into the thighs, really bringing the shoulder blades together, lifting tall out of the pelvis, maybe tucking the ribs a little bit. Jershki is looking down. It would be called Nazagri Jershki, which is nose. So you're looking down your nose. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Then inhale, really lift up out of the pelvis. Either bringing your hands and lifting your ribs, or sometimes it's just lifting with the arms before you come forward. You can take your toes, depending on how far you can go. Maybe your hands are out to the sides. Energy still coming out the heels, energy out the toes, meaning the toe mound. Maybe lifting the lower belly so that the ribs can get closer. Kelly, you about had it, huh? So do the easy version. Don't stop, but do the easy version. In Kansas City, we have some rainy day here. It's been cloudy for a couple of days, and I think that helps us to feel more tired. So I'm holding this just a little bit longer and not going into the second one. So inhale, looking up. Exhale, releasing, and then just bringing the hands behind the back, really opening up the chest for Purvottanasana. If we have more energy today, we might lift the hips. But on a low energy day, this is good. It just stretches out the front. And 5, inhale, sit up, just cross at the ankles and lift. Imagine yourself going forward. Imagine an upward facing dog. Imagine a downward facing dog, and then jumping through. That can be one form of a vinyasa. Let's do our Ardha Baddha easy. So just bring your foot on the top of your thigh and sit tall. Don't try to do the bind, just sit tall and breathe. And 5. Exhale the leg down. Inhale the second side. So when we're talking about easy practice, but not skipping your practice, this could be a modification. Just sit tall and breathe. And 5, cross of the ankles. Just pretend like you're going to do that vinyasa. So you've come forward, you're in an upward facing dog, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog, inhale, coming, seated, and sitting down again. So bringing your right foot behind you, really lean over away from that bent knee this time. And slowly, 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 inhaling and exhaling, come to a place where it feels like you're at the edge. Don't worry about getting the buttocks down. Just find the edge and just go that far and breathe. And 5, inhale, think about a vinyasa while you change sides. So you're not doing it, but you know it's there. So lean way far away from that bent knee side and slowly, slowly come until there's resistance, and stay at that resistance as you breathe. Notice how it might help you to sink a little bit further, and then you could slightly come towards that side again. And 5, inhale, look up, exhale, release the pose. Let's come forward into a modified vinyasa or some kind of a vinyasa. So it might be going all the way down to your belly today. And inhale up, exhale, downward facing dog. And coming forward, ready for Janu Shirshasana, just to help us remember the order. Bringing the right foot against the upper thigh, flexing the straight foot. Actually, both are flexed. And it may be that you just sit tall. It may be that you tip forward. Just go to where you feel some resistance. Hold there and breathe. And 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Know in your mind that there is a vinyasa as you go to the second side. Again, just to wherever the resistance is, whatever is an easy practice for you today, take that pose. Inhaling and exhaling. And 5, inhale up, exhale, release the pose. Let's do a lift and imagine that you're doing a vinyasa. So it's a lift, inhale, exhale, downward chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog, and then coming through and sitting down. Let's do 2 Marichiasanas. So bend the right knee, space between the foot and the leg. It might be that your pose today is just sitting tall and holding this knee next to your chest. You can try to actually push down on this knee, flex the right or the straight foot, and 5. Imagine a vinyasa as you switch to the other side, and just holding that knee into your chest, maybe pushing down on that knee to ground your foot, flexing the straight leg side, focusing on the breath. And 5. We're going to release the pose. Imagine another vinyasa. You're either lifting or just getting ready as if you're going to lift, depending on your level of. and exhale back down. So we're going to twist with our Marichyasana. So this might be just hugging your knee and turning towards the knee. And wherever you feel a little bit of resistance, just stay there and breathe for 5 counts. And 5, inhale, look forward, exhale, release the pose, imagine a vinyasa, you know there's a vinyasa there, you can imagine going through it, and then back to seated, just hugging the knee into your chest, sitting tall, and going towards the bent knee until you feel some resistance. And 5, inhale, look forward, exhale, release the pose. Do a vinyasa, do a full vinyasa this time. Best you can. Downward facing dog. Maybe hold this downward facing dog for just a minute because we're going to go into our closing. Stretching out from all of the other previous poses and bringing the blocks between your feet. We're going to do just an engagement of the core. So taking it easy, just rotate your hips in such a way that the tail is pointing towards the back of your knees. This is like a baby cat back. And then just squeeze your knees together. See if you can find that natural engagement that comes up into the abs. And it might mean that you need to lift a little bit to feel that, or you need to push your feet away from you. Breathe and squeeze the block a little bit more. Just easy today. And exhale down. Release. There shouldn't be tons and tons of effort, but engagement. So once again, inhale, bring the tail to the back of the knees, and then exhale there, then inhale. Maybe it comes off of the ground, maybe it doesn't. Just squeeze the knees together. Try to feel that scoop in the belly. One more breath. Exhale there. Release. Take a little breather. And then re-engage one more time. Tail to the back of the knees. This brings that scoop into the belly. Squeeze the knees. You can bring your hips off of the ground or leave them down, whatever feels right. Squeeze. Release the shoulders, release the jaw, but squeeze the knees. And exhale right there. Bring your knees up to your chest. Just squeeze them to your chest. Crossing at the ankles or rolling to your side. Either roll up, straight up, or roll to your side. Now, I know that we're having an especially tired day. You're ready for your closing. So continue. I'm going to end the live stream. If you feel like doing legs up the wall for a few minutes, this is the place to do that. It's in place of shoulder stand. And then you can just do your final 3 poses and take a beautiful Shavasana today. Maybe put on some soothing music and just rest. Doing these poses before you rest will give you energy for the day without zapping all of your energy. But it should be refreshing. So finish up your practice and then let me know how you're doing.